David Lecours, surfing lessons, David Lecours.
My nephew Dylan recently turned 7. My gift to him for his birthday was surfing lessons and lunch wherever he wanted to go. So the lesson started off with dry land training, which meant I took his board, I placed it on the chaise lounge by their pool, and I showed him how to paddle and pop up and be ready to surf. Now, to add a level of authenticity, I ran around with a squirt gun and shot him with water so that he could understand the spray of the ocean as part of the event. His footwork was not great. He was moving around on the board, just falling off. I said, Dylan, you've got to plant your feet. He looked at me like I was from Mars. I said, yeah, like a plant. You know, a plant has roots, and that provides the stability to stand up tall. Well, he took this to the logical extreme because our next phase was to move from dry land into their swimming pool. So he would pop up, and he was so rigid that he would just fall over. And I said, Dylan, I'm sorry, I should have explained that yes, you need to plant your feet, but your upper body needs to be sort of flexible so that you can move. You know, sort of like a plant has the roots, and if it's windy, the plant will sway, because if the plant was rigid, it would break off and fall. Now you would think that a kid named Dylan, whose name in Welsh means son of the waves, would be a natural. He didn't live up to his name. He was having a lot of trouble. We were in the pool and I would be pushing him and he'd fall off, and he was starting to get really frustrated. He said, I can't do it! I said, yeah, well, with that attitude, you can't, because as Napoleon Hill says, what we believe, we can achieve. Uncle David, you're weird. Now, the next phase was to move into the actual ocean. So I showed up to pick him up for our big surfing day, and he's already dressed, full wetsuit, when I pick him up at his house. We put him in the back seat because he's still kind of little and he doesn't have enough weight to sit in the front seat. We put the boards in the back seat, the wetsuits, everything. So I'm driving to the beach and I look in the rearview mirror and the wind's coming into his hair and he's bobbing his head and he's really excited. And he says, hey, Uncle David, did you know that I'm naked under my wetsuit? I know that. He said, yeah, what are you going to wear? Because my sister said that sometimes you wear bikini bottoms under your wetsuit. I said, dude. Because that's how surfers talk. They're not bikini bottoms. It's called a Speedo. So we get to Pike's Beach in Cardiff, which is his favorite beach. And we pull in and we walk down the ramp. And he said, Uncle David, I want to show you a secret shortcut. I said, all right. So we take the secret shortcut that I've been taking for the last 25 years. I get to the beach, he's already got his wetsuit on, and I need to put mine on. So as I'm putting mine on, he says, hey, Uncle David, did you know there's 2 types of people in the world? No. Yeah, those that pee while wearing their wetsuit, and those that lie about it. So we both have our wetsuits on, and I leave my board on the beach, and I swim out with him and help him out by pushing the bottom of the board so it can pop up over the waves. And he's really starting to get it, and he's paddling, he's turning the board around, he's catching a wave, riding it to the beach, and he jumps off out on the sand, and he does it again, and he's really building his confidence. He said, Uncle David, this is awesome! And I said, you're awesome! And he said, no, you're awesome! And so it was this whole surfing bromance between my nephew and I. And at one point, a really big wave came. So he grabbed my wrist, and we dive under the wave, and he said, this is really cool. Let's just leave the board on the beach. So we did that, and we did a little body surfing for a while. And that was really fun, and we had, at this point, built up a bit of an appetite, so the surfing lesson was over, and it was time to go and have some lunch. I said, Dylan, where do you want to go? We'll go anywhere. We could go to the new Whole Foods, Lotus Cafe, Pipes, Swami's. Where do you want to go? I want to go to Subway. Oh. Really? You want to go to Subway? All these places we could go? He said, yeah. I said, why do you want to go to Subway? I I like the atmosphere. So I said, all right, it's your birthday. We'll go to Subway. So we go to Subway and he gets to pick out each item. Yeah, pickles, no olives, onions. Gets a sandwich. I said, oh, it's such an awesome day. It's sunny. Let's just sit outside here in the patio. No, let's sit inside. Why do you want to sit inside? The atmosphere. So we have our lunch and we head back to his house and I drop him off. My sister's there and she says, how did he do? And I said, we did fantastic. He was really a natural. We had a great time. And I said, hey Dylan, I'm just curious. Why do you think that you did so much better in the ocean versus here in the swimming pool? I don't know. And so I go, all right, well, it was awesome. Happy birthday. So I grabbed my plant, which I left at my sister's house. And my sister said, you've had that plant for like a long time, right? And I said, yeah, I've actually had this plant for over 15 years. In fact, I don't even remember where it came from, but I do know that it started out in a small wicker pot. And about 2 months ago, I transplanted the plant to this bigger pot. And the amazing thing is that for 15 years, there was just these two gangly branches. And when I transferred it to this bigger pot, this new growth occurred after 15 years. And Dylan said, hey, that's it. The reason I was a better surfer in the ocean versus the swimming pool, I just needed a bigger pot. So what's the moral to the story? If you're going to pee in your wetsuit, don't lie about it. No, that's not it. It's, if you want to grow, you need to put yourself into a bigger pot.